Okay. Well, it is happening. I'm going to start in just a second. Might as well pick the drawing. What we're gonna do, the first thing I'm gonna do is fix the face. It's bothering me. Left it half off. Should have posted him there. Oh, this is funny. I love the first 10 minutes is just going to be me looking around. Zappa. Let's start with some. Let's see if music works. Right, let's start there. About air. I think music is working. All right, Qidan, Elf Ranger. Let's get started. So, first let's remove what we did on the first session. Let's unwind all these, turn off all these layers. It's gonna be quick. The first part of this video was all about flatting, where we started with the biggest object in the scene, right? All of it, and then slowly added different parts. I should do that so we don't hear dings all day. Okay. So then we added each part on a separate layer, and then one single multiply layer. Now let me put this on normal, actually what color this is. So it's like this very saturated bright turquoise. Let me see if that's even a good idea. I feel like it's almost too dark for this. I can brighten up. That's actually why, because it wasn't all the way that pixel. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to fix it, so to speak. The blue spectrum is that we want it kind of in the middle. You can easily select this and just fill it with that. Now normal it looks like that, but let's multiply it. It actually looks like darkness. Even though, right, the color is very mid-tone, I can even brighten it up slightly. I used the hue for that. And this is kind of how I control the intensity of the shadows. That way they're not competing with the line art. We're setting them. I'm saying, like, looking at the feather, that's as dark as I want that to be. And once I did, then we're simply going to draw the shadows. Now, just like the feathers here, I want to show that roundness a little bit. Now this drawing here is not indicating that there's a sharp edge there. So essentially, let me just redo this whole area. Or at least maybe fix the transition. This I want not so dark. Yeah, it's very like not specific to the area. I was kind of rushing at the end of this, so a lot of this is going to be kind of correcting it or potentially starting over. We'll see. But that part is pretty decent. Okay, so here's the problem with the face, right? It's flat what really happens is the cheeks should get more light, creating this part to be. So this needs to be a little brighter here. And that's kind of it. Maybe here a little bit too, right? Give it that curvature. Think cylinders. That's all you're doing. You're just coloring cylinders, alright? Nothing more complicated than that. Picture this in 3D space and go to town. So everything, like the right side of everything, is going to be in darkness. That's the rule of this drawing. But you know, I'll have some things like, look how sharp that is with the hair. It really is like a big giant clump. It's kind of good to not do that actually with hair. You want to mix it more, but I honestly like it in this one. It's like a weird edge. It indicates like how his hair is going way out. So I do like it in this case. And it kind of strengthens that one line. So then I have to go here. I can kind of play a little bit up here actually. Definitely over here. Kind of a zagged, like a zigzaggy thing. And then make that. But it wouldn't be there though. It should be down here. Maybe that creates a little indication of curvature here. We break that shadow a little bit more. Actually, there wouldn't be much there. It might even be on the brightness, since this is on the left side. The other thing is right underneath the eye. This area needs to be pretty bright. Same with. Oh, I can't wait to add some light onto that eye. This is kind of a in facing area here, so facing to the right is dark. Light should get in there a little bit. Oh, no, I'm erasing. I meant to do that. So here the light should reverse it, meaning the left is going to be dark to indicate that little, that, right? Whatever that's called in your language. I call it the lip tear because it looks like a little teardrop. But you don't have to call it that. Okay, so we're getting the bottom. There should be some darkness there too. I'm going to delete some highlights in a second. Indicate the three forms, maybe some light there. Top of the lips usually catch a little bit light. You know, some indications of moisture by some sharp highlights. But on the wrong side. I'll do it on this side, technically. Okay. Maybe this, there's a little top plane on the ear. It would be very light. Light is in light shadow, not a lot of shadow. Here's almost completely. You know what? Let's do that and then bring this up here. Maybe brighten it a little bit. There we go. Let's get some shadows and so it's clipping mask. I can go all over, right? Really quickly. I love that. Okay. Let's get the eyebrows back. Now, they are kind of nice in full darkness, but maybe like some backlight on them, like from the below. Right, because the opposite side usually, maybe since their feathers get them a little bit rougher. Okay, let's deal with this ugly shape. Top plane should be almost okay. See, dealing with it. Yeah. Okay. So we need to get some light on it. It's on the top. It should not be shaded at all, technically. But the side, this place is in the shade, and cause to be more in the shade. And this is a cylinder again, so we're going to start really dark and slowly unshade it, I guess. It's easier when the form is this big. Let's give it some more. Let's get rid of it over here a little bit. Maybe this little dot here should catch some light. And then let me give it some, just a little bit of a, less of a halftone here. Maybe some, and of course the back now. Let's get a thin, what is that called, backlight? Rear light, whatever. Now these, they're technically up in the middle like this, so they would get kind of hit. But not a lot. But this one would be getting hit for sure. So the other side should be a little bit of a shadow. I'll do the same with this one. That's kind of how what I indicated already with the inks earlier. And honestly, that's kind of it. Now I'm just gonna have a little half-tone indication of the lower sphere because it's going down this way, so I need to indicate that it is kind of getting more and more in the shade as it goes down. So this one a little bit, just one coat, like a half coat on that. Let's do one more coat, just then a little bit more here. This one is in cast shadow, so this could get really dark here because the hair is, so I'll go full right there when they meet. Yeah. Similar idea with the back here, like just as things get lower, they should get kind of darker because they're going away from the light. Let's get the obliques here. Yeah. Yeah, maybe some kind of thing right here too, a little shade under the feathery thing he has in the back. Let's get some in here. Some cast shadow right here. Hey, well, hey guys, it might be crazy loud right now. Oh god, okay, whatever. Broadcasting. Okay. So this plane, I'm gonna move on to the bow. Pretty, I'm just gonna do a hard shadow right edge. This is cast shadow heaven here. We can indicate little stronger shadows on the fingers here. Just gonna also picture like what's kind of happening right here, right? So this plane is kind of facing us to the right, so I would get some shadow. Very much like this whole area actually. But it's also, light's directly looking at it still. Whoa, never mind. Let's go ahead and remove the top one, and just when they're kind of down. That's way too dark though. So yeah, like on the right side, this side will probably get a little bit. Yeah. It's dirty here. So that wouldn't be like that. Actually, would it be? It would be something like that. Never mind. Just not that way. Let me get this panel here. I'm just gonna do actually. It's too dark otherwise. We can get pretty dark here. Get this side bright again. This is the top layer. This is the side layer. So this is basically a half in between, but the fingernail would be popping out just slightly more, not that much more. That's probably it. Let's indicate a little bit of a shadow that are facing kind of away from the light, but we're gonna take this stuff back. That's directly in the light. Thumb 2 would be let's get some in here. Okay. Let's get this area a little darker. This should be a little darker like that. That's going to, I think, sell the nose a little bit better, but I'm gonna make this panel a little bit, just slightly lighter than that. This front, let's give it a little bit more of a little bit darker here to really get that curvature. The crazy thing is light is coming from the top left, so this area needs to get better too. This area should get a little darker as it goes up to kind of show that it's curving out as it's curving in. Not that intense, right? We go over it one time. It's actually so high up. Oh, I think it gets merged. Okay, so this should be darker up here. Looks like I have to fix the color on this eyebrow. I think I just have to delete this guy here. There we go. Okay. Now, that's the shadows. And I can always change their tone later. Stick with it for now. So it looks like I started the lights a little bit. I'm just going to redo it though. But essentially I'm going to just... If I stay with the same color, it won't make sense because of how light works. So if I go with the blue, it has to be a kind of opposite tone for light. Maybe let's try with an orange. You know, see what it looks like. We'll stay with the mid-tone. I know with light you always want to go bright, but same concept. So now let's see what this looks like. We're hitting the light here. Alright, I like it for now. I'm gonna just go with it. Here. Technically I want top to be way more in the light. It's almost blown out. You know, that's a crazy one. So I see where I can have, yeah, let's have this really catch the light here. Maybe this side, right, when it's kind of looking up. Anything that's looking up and to the left is gonna get hit by this. And as they go down, they're gonna get hit less and less by it. Those are the rules. The rules of the light. Okay. Of course, the lips would be totally catching this. And right here of the nose, the wing, maybe. Eye lips? No. Eyelids. Yeah, let's give this a little bit of a light there. And now I can kind of more confidently get rid of the shadows on the forehead. You can see where the light is hitting better and how I'm doing the midtones with that. So that's when I always take the shadows a little bit back. When the highlights start coming in, I can kind of see it even way better. What's what, you know, much of a difference that makes in the hair alone, right? The feathers are kind of white now. I'm first picking the colors. I'm technically just picking their midtones. Remember, top gets hit, trail it down. So like that, right? The top panel of the bicep here, you know, as a deltoid. It's actually split into two here, so I could even indicate some of that, right? Like there's just there's just a little bit of a panel there to indicate that, hey, wait, that thing has two heads. All right, so let's get the bracer here. That is going to be bright because it's metal. Or is it? Whatever. It's something. Yeah, like when this is probably catching the light the most all the way on the bottom, but it's just the angle is right there. And some over here. This one, oh, I kind of left the shadows out, but let's start with the lights then. So imagining some, maybe some 3D shapes out of these curves here, like maybe that's facing up, maybe so is that, etc. All right, let's go through his chest, torso, starting with, I don't want to say that muscle's name. We'll start with the pecs and the talisman. Favorite. All right, let's get some light here. Here more. Maybe this top panel could almost be like, so let's get some indication up here. little bit here. So very little bit light in here to the feathers, but it would definitely hit this corner here. And this that trails off. So yeah, here we go. Top hits the light. A little less maybe there. A little less here. And even less there. All right. So now I feel like it's a little too bright there. I'm gonna take some of the highlights off here. Like give back there. There we go. And have these maybe cracks mean something. You know, they're gonna screw the light up somehow. All right. Okay, so I can remove some of the shadow here on the chest because I think it's not good. That's right, I don't want it in the front facing area. Okay. The bow, right? Got it right now. I totally am. I'm like, wait a second. I thought I was doing this instead. Here we go. So since this is metal here, I'm gonna make it. Oh yeah, let's get his fingers. Let's have this part catch the light too. Okay, that's pretty good there. Let's go just do the shadows on the belt here. So imagine this thing kind of curving down halfway out. So below this point, the core shadow here. I totally forgot all about this. Then it would follow that down. Then let's halftone that down. And this would also curve it. So it's going to start from the bottom. We just kind of do something like that. There we go. Let's do something similar here. This I want almost like facing kind of lower as it goes higher. So it's gonna really give it that like curving down effect. It's crazy hard. Okay. There we go. That's enough. All of a sudden, it does. So, is it too blue on the skin? Let's play around. But before playing around, let me do the lights because there's one more fun layer. Let's clip that one too. And this is going to be the eye. because I want to have a little glow. What should we do the glow with? Let's do Taralea. And gonna make this layer, well, let's draw it first. See, it kind of does a crazy big shape. So a little smaller, but not that small. Okay, something like that. Very little cloudy thing. Let's see what green it or add it. That's what we want. We really want just that thing to pop out. Alright. And I can really use this layer to add like highlights. I can go back to the drawing and just really just give like, you know, shining to certain things. Now, this should be almost always like the reflection thing of the highlight. Not exactly where the light is hitting it, but where the light is also looking back. That one's pretty sharp there. That's the kind of fun part about this layer. Like I can just kind of give it a little thing there. Would never really be in the center like that. Whatever. Okay. Let's change the hue of that blue shadow. It's kind of like that. It definitely makes the skin tone look better. I'm gonna normal this just to see what color it is. Wow, I would have never guessed. Okay. I'm gonna record that for later. Maybe I'll use it in autopilot. Now, if it's already on the very warm side, just slightly cooler, so maybe that's why it works with the other light. What if I go change the hue of the, so let's define these. These are lights and these are highlights and effects, as we have whatever the weird thing on the eyes. Just cleaning this area up a little bit. Add a shadow right here, just get that area a little darker there. Actually, that didn't. Guys, I really like this shadow color. Might have found the winner here. Let's do this part now. Pecs. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, it doesn't have to be all the same color with shadow, but it kind of does make it a little simpler, doesn't it? I feel like those lips are way too big. Let's make this area a little darker. Okay, that's getting pretty defined at this point. Makes that look a little weird. I'm just gonna highlight this area a little bit more. Okay. Okay, let's move the highlight wheel around. Let's make it towards cold. See, like, once you kind of set him up, you can change the colors and lights of anything. Like, pretend he's under moonlight, right? Just for a second here. Well, I can just play with the... Well, I guess I could merge the whole thing, but let's see. Just darken it a little bit. Look at that. Now it's like blending with the... It's kind of cool like that too. Just crushed a little bit. Alright. I could play with this all day. But I kind of want to move the lights back to where they were. Because I think this is it. I think this is Qidan. I do need to... That's what I was going to do. The very tail of the bow on the left side, I kind of fade that with the Taralia here. So just very lightly. Yeah. And yeah, there's all those layers, right? That make up this area. All these things. But if I just adjust this one, since everything is a clipping mask, I'm adjusting everything under it as well. Let's get a big Taralia brush and just start from distant here. There we go. Too far. Too far. There we go. That's good enough. Maybe his eyeball should be indicated a little better. The blind one. Essentially a little darker. Let's get the pencil out. Where's my pencil? There we go. That's crazy bright now. Alright. I kind of like the idea of having like this weird circle. I wonder what a blind person actually looks like. Alright, so I just want an intro. Like that. There we go. Now that looks weird. Alright, let's rewind. What if it's just really dark green? I guess it wouldn't have his color, but he's also an elf. I'm gonna spend the next 20 minutes on this right here. You know what? It's just gonna be shaded. Let's get some shade. Let's get the under the eye. It's probably coming up a little bit. So let's indicate this wound here. Too much. Yeah. I think I'm gonna stay at it for a little bit. That's it. Qidan is almost complete. I see a gap in the shadow here. This needs to get done. Looks like I was afraid of. I'm gonna get that pretty dark. A little bit of that TFL and serratus right there. That's not what the serratus is. There is a muscle there that's, and his name sounds like the serratus, but it's just something that goes from there to your knee, like kind of like that. Anyway. It might be too dark, but it's kind of cool also. This should be in almost full shadow here. Now let's brighten up a little bit, maybe get some light on the top area. Maybe the very top part of this right here hits some light. Here, get some light, you know. Okay. Man, shading is a lot of fun. And I'm literally just doing this with the pencil tool, right? One of the pencil tools. I really like that texture. I've been doing some tests with different brushes, and this seems like a very good one. This brush I got, I already forgot where I got it, in the link in the video or something. That graphite is really solid texture. Like, look at that right there. It looks like paper. When you get through the whole thing, it's pretty rad actually. But let's finish this. Okay. So now I can put all the colors in one layer. And let's get titles in there. Okay. Okay. How do you write? I need to look this up. Otherwise, he'll get mad. Eric will get mad. All right. So where is? Let me see. Awesome. To the rescue. I was fucking typing to you, dude. Just barely could have get on the keyboard. Alright. That's funny. The question is like, how do you spell Qidan? And it's correct. Let me get that I correct though. I'll put my shit right here. I'm gonna smaller. "2020, best year in the world, turns out to be 2020. Just another casual year like 2003. Okay. And let's go ahead and make this half. Call it the... Let's just call it the titles actually, because since it's technically where the text is. Yeah, that's Qidan. It's like one of his eyes are turned off. Let me see if I need to change anything, like maybe some little bit more light on the delta. Just last minute things here when you're looking at it, you know, like so that right there. Let's go back to that graphite and just get that shoulder a little stronger. Let me zoom out again. Yeah, like that could be kind of bright. That could be bright. That could be also bright. That could be bright. Not that bright. Not that bright. Okay. That little bit more right there. Maybe some more as the chest is going up to show that, you know, up, right? This shouldn't be in the shadow like it is. There we go. But it was kind of nicer, so let me do maybe half. Let's maybe break that a little bit. There we go. I love the abs. It's like so, just like bark, bark, robot. All right, whatever. You know what? Let's get some more light in the eye. Okay. I'm really done now. Just gonna play around with that effect. That's good enough. Replay. I like this stuff. At first, maybe I'll get a side angle. Like construction, figuring it out. So it all starts at skeletons, right? Figuring out where the bones are. I figure all that stuff out, but I still don't know what he's doing with the bow. Right? I'm just things together the frame. Now we're gonna go in detail. Yeah, putting the muscles in there. Yeah. The shoulder pad and all that. Penciling takes the longest, I feel like, and it's more fun now that I've been doing it a lot more lately. But to me, it's the least fun out of all. I would rate. I'm having a lot more fun coloring now that I have a better method than I did before. Inking is probably my favorite. but it's also the hardest one to stop. I just want to keep, you know, shading with inks. Just stop inking almost ever. So it's the hardest thing for me. Like I'll get, even with this one, I think I've been a little too far. But like with penciling, the iteration process, just one layer after another. Okay, this is gonna take too long. Let me just inking. Flatting. This is kind of the video where the video starts, where I start doing the flatting. Blue the most of the time, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, I was like, wait a second, blue's too weird. It made the skin look really unnatural. You know, maybe in a different lighting, like for like the neutral photo, quote unquote photo of the character, it's too crazy, I think. If he was like in some weird swampland with a crazy blue light, you know, maybe that could look cool. I still think colors, but that brown really just neutralizes it. Right. It's funny how much darker it looks on the stream. It's fine. Actually, you know what it needs? Let's see right now. That kind of drove me nuts a little bit. I want some more backlight here. Maybe indicate that. Tricep a little better. This panel should be almost because of that. There we go. All right, I need to stop. See, like, okay, right there, this area. In retrospect, I shouldn't have put any inks there. I think this whole area is a little too far with the inks. But hey, it is what it is. Next one will be better. That's how it goes. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. It's been exactly 58 minutes. Cheers. Right, that's how we'll end this video. Zappa says